it's sort of like a big backup computer in control of everything, and you're not even aware that it's running these programs behind the scenes. But you need to have some conscious awareness of them, that it's happening. So also in that unconscious mind, you'll have deep-seated beliefs, values, past experiences, and as I said, these can actually hinder or support your goal setting efforts, depending on the nature. You're watching the Stable Business Podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Bush, and I'm here to chat all things equine business with a new episode every week from me or the best in the biz. Now, before we get started, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell to be notified when a new episode drops. Okay, let's chat goals, shall we? Let's chat goals. Now, all through November, I've been working with people who joined me for my Nail It Mini Mastermind, which is all about planning 2024. It's been an amazing experience, and I can't wait to share what people have thought of it with you, because it's just been awesome. But one of the things that we touched on was goals, and it's an area that we can often struggle with, and I want to go through why that is and what you can do about it and why goal setting is important and all of that stuff, and what came up for me when I was doing the training for the mini mastermind. I've also created a version of the training for you if you want to actually get a copy of it, and actually if you want to go through what we did in the mini mastermind through November, which was, we started off with walking the course, which is a thing that I always do with my clients. So I go through why that's important. Then we do goal setting. Then we mapped out our 2024, and then we made sure that we've got a stick with it system. So if you want to get a copy of all of that, you can head to jennybush.com, and if you go to the program, I think it's in programs or products, I've got a title on that. Go there and you'll be able to see the planning and goal setting training and get that for yourself. So why is goal setting really important? Now, it gives us some clarity, and I think it's one of the things as business owners we need to have that clarity. We need to have that roadmap that's going to take us from where we want to go and where we are now, actually make it happen, and to help us stay focused, because there's going to be times when we feel totally down in the dumps. Business is not always up there. We don't always have that level of motivation either. So having a really good goal will give you a powerful motivator, so it will actually pull you through that tough time. You know, when you've got that specific target to aim for, when you've got something that actually you want to achieve, it will make such a big difference. And so I think motivation is something that if you're struggling with it, it could be going back and looking at your goals and seeing actually why they aren't motivating you, what's wrong, what needs to change. And that also brings me on to something that I think people think that once they've set that goal, that's it, it's set. But goals are allowed to change. They are allowed to be flexibility. And on that path to achieving your goal, you might find a better goal. And I think it's getting to the point where that's okay. It's not that you didn't achieve your goal. It's not that you failed. It's actually your goal changed. And knowing that actually it's okay for the goal to shift, as long as you know why it shifted, why you shifted it, and why that mattered. The other reason that I think that goal setting really, really helps is that it helps you to measure your progress. It allows you to track and celebrate achievements, which I think is really, really important. And when you celebrate those achievements, it gives you that motivation again to keep moving forward. It can also help you to make better decisions. And if you find that you're not decisive, you're trying to people please and all of that stuff, when you've got a really clear goal, you can use that goal as like a filter through which you put any opportunity, any challenge, and you go, does this align with my goal? And it makes it easier to say no and say, oh, this isn't actually one of my priorities at the moment because this is what I'm working on. You'll be more productive if you've got a goal. It will help you to manage your time, because again, you can really know why you're working on things, which means that again you can stop allowing time for distractions and stay on track. It will give you that personal growth and development, because a powerful goal will drive you towards personal growth. And I think that's so important that we need to have that in our business. And one of the things as well that I see a lot, and people say to me, I just want to feel confident. I want more confidence. I want more confidence in my business. But actually, when you start to set goals and you accomplish goals and you accomplish those milestones, especially when they're challenging, it's going to boost your confidence. So give yourself those little opportunities. So by setting a goal, you're going to give that opportunity for yourself to boost your confidence. But what stops us getting goals? And this was one of the things that I struggled with for a long time. Like, I struggled to set goals because I always felt I never achieved them. I always felt that I would just fail again. That it was always far away, like the bar was high, and every time I moved forward with the goalpost shifted with the move, and I never felt like I was achieving it. So there was that level of overwhelm, which then put you into a state of procrastination. You don't feel motivated. Maybe there's some fear that you're going to fail, so then you just don't bother. Maybe there's self-doubt or perfectionism going on, or there's just external obstacles. And I mean, this happens. Sometimes life happens. None of us can avoid it. But sometimes there is external challenges that are beyond our control, and they impact our goal attainment, and then that stops us moving forward, as well as sort of burnout, things like that. So we do need to be aware of that. And one of the things that I went through in the masterclass is talking mainly about the conscious and the unconscious mind, and how I feel that impacts our goal setting. And this is because you've probably, and I've taught this, I know a lot, you've probably been taught SMART goals, and SMART goals are great, and it's a great framework that works. But one, it's not very motivating sometimes, but also SMART goals tend to be set with the conscious mind. And if you're not aware, the unconscious is then going to sabotage you. The unconscious will cause all of those things to make you sabotage. And we need to be aware of that. We need to be aware of that and how that is going to impact your effectiveness. And there have been some studies, like there is a myth about a study that went from Yale or Harvard. It is a myth. That study didn't exist. But there was a study by the Dominican University of California that did evidence that actually goal setting and writing down your goals and committing them to a friend and doing weekly progress reports was the best way to actually achieve your goals. And if you want more information on that, just send me a message, and I'm quite happy to direct you towards that survey so that you can see how that works. But having the right mindset for goals really matters, because the conscious mind is part of your mental processing. So it's the awareness, the reason, the logic. It's where you make your decisions from, and you engage in sort of your critical thinking stuff. But there is a limitation to that. Like, the conscious mind is limited because it can only focus on a few things at once. Otherwise, it becomes overwhelmed, and then that's when the procrastination sets in, and it just can't cope, and it won't do anything more. It's also limited because the conscious mind is mainly for short-term memory. So it makes essential and immediate task decisions, but for long-term goals, we actually need continuous reminders, which is why walking the course, it's why visualization works, it's why sometimes having those vision boards out on the wall can really help, because it's a continuous reminder for your conscious mind. But then there's the unconscious mind, and that's why we need to be aware of both of these things when we're setting these goals, because the unconscious mind is going to handle automatic processes, habits, all the things that you do without even thinking about them. Like, you're not thinking about breathing, you don't think about walking, you don't think about a lot of things that you do in your everyday. So the unconscious mind is in control. Yeah, it's sort of like a big backup computer in control of everything, and you're not even aware that it's running these programs behind the scenes. But you need to have some conscious awareness of them, that it's happening. So also in that unconscious mind, you'll have deep-seated beliefs, values, past experiences, and as I said, these can actually hinder or support your goal setting efforts depending on their nature. And then, of course, I've spoken about this in other episodes, but again, the reticular activating system is found in the unconscious mind. So that is like a big filter, sifting through everything that comes in through your senses, through your eyes, through your sense of smell, through your ears, all the sounds, everything that's going on around you. And it automatically sifts through and pulls out the things that are important to you and puts those in front of you, because it says, oh, you think this is important. So that all impacts on your goal setting, because the conscious mind is instrumental in setting those goals, because it's about, I need to have this measurable, I need to have this something that I can actually achieve, I need to have some logic to it. And then you've got the unconscious mind in the background going, but you believe this, and this is what you want, and this is what you want, isn't it? And this is what you want. And we need to be aware of it, because again, what we often feed our unconscious mind is what we don't want. And when you're setting your goals, the last thing you want to put in your goals is what you don't want. They've got to focus on what you do want, because the unconscious mind can't shift out the negative. So if you say, I don't want clients who don't pay me, the unconscious mind will just go, oh, I want clients who don't pay me. So you've got to be really specific in the positive. So another reason that I think that we often struggle with our goals, and this comes up a lot, is because I think we expect our willpower to be enough. We expect willpower to be enough, and willpower can't be relied upon. It's like a battery; it will drain really quickly over the long term. It can't keep you up there. So if you want to make sure that actually you do stay on track with your goals and you hit them, you need something better than willpower to keep you aligned to them. And this is why I think walking the course is so powerful, because it will help you to overcome those fears, build self-confidence, see that this is something that you can achieve. It kind of sets the inner sat nav and that reticular activating system. And you can do that through visualization, journaling, vision boards, meditation, acting as if, affirmations. There's so many ways, and you can find what works for you. But it's so, so important. So when you are setting your goals, there are 4 main things that you want to make sure that you've got in order to have a good foundation for your goal. So again, it needs to be positive. It needs to be actually what I do want. You need to make sure that it's specific and it's measurable and it's achievable. And you've probably heard the SMART goal thing. And so this does matter, and this does make a difference. But when you're thinking, okay, I need it to be specific, you need to clearly define what it is that you want. So actually don't just say I want more clients. How many clients? What sort of clients? Where are they? Get really clear, as clear as you can. And you can do that by keep asking and until you get something that's really super specific. It needs to be able to be measurable. So you need to know, how will I know when I got there? How will I know when I get there? So sometimes it can be like a statistic. So again, it could be I need 10 clients. That's quite measurable. But it could also just be, well, I know I've got there because. So how will you track that progress? And this is where I often fell down. I just couldn't measure what I wanted. And then it needs to be attainable. And I need you to believe that you can actually attain it. And when it comes to sort of achievability and attainability, I don't want you to have a realistic goal. And I know this is a crazy thing to set, but I want you to actually have some space for magic and miracles in your goal. I want you to, as long as you can believe that it could be obtainable, and why not you, leave some space for magic. Don't turn your dreams off. Don't turn your goals off by trying to make them realistic, because realistic is not going to motivate you. Realistic isn't going to motivate me, won't motivate you. So again, trying to think, when you're saying, okay, is this achievable? Actually go, do you know what, if I achieved that, yeah, of course. Why isn't it achievable? There's not a lot. If you can dream it, you can do it. There's not a lot that isn't achievable on the planet. So really focus on that and how you can put that in. And then when it's about being relevant and responsible, I want to make sure that actually it's not going to cause an impact on your wider life. Because again, this is another reason why a lot of goals don't work, is because actually you want that goal, but it's going to affect your partner and your partner's not on board. You want that goal, but actually, it's going to affect something else in your life, and that you don't really want to let go of that side of it. So that could stop you from achieving your goal. So is it actually relevant? Does it align with a broader objective in your life? I mean, what will you have to lose if you hit this goal? And are you okay with that? But also, are you responsible for it? And that is so important, that actually you are the one who is responsible for it. If anybody else is responsible for elements of that goal, you can't achieve it, because there's always going to be that bottleneck. So make sure that it's something that you specifically can do, and then make sure that you do have a deadline for the goal when you want to achieve it, so it kind of ties it in a knot and makes it all pretty and time bound. But say SMART goals are boring. SMART goals are boring. They don't make me feel very aligned. So I want to not just use the conscious SMART goals, but we're going to go a little bit deeper, and we're going to go about using the unconscious now, and how we're going to save your goals. Save your goals. So SAFE stands for stretch. So I want you to ask, does this stretch me? Like, do I feel that this would be a real stretch for me, but it's not beyond beyond me, but it's going to make me out of my comfort zone. So does it stretch you? And does that excite you if it stretches you to that space? Then I want you to act as if. So again, I want you to embrace the mindset that you've already achieved your goal. So if you can write it down, this is why journaling is so super powerful. So now go and do a diary entry, a journal entry as if it's a year in the future or whenever your goal is ended. So when you set that time limit, act as if it's happened and embrace that mindset that you've already achieved it. Let your subconscious feel that. It's going to really, really help. And in that, you're going to visualize. So you're going to create really vivid mental images of your success. What does it look like, feel like, smell like? What's going on around you? How can you make sure that you can hear the sights and the sounds? You can take in everything that's going on, and you're going to try and visualize it. So you're going to paint that picture. You're going to watch behind. You're going to make sure that everything is really, really connected. And then you are going to make sure that you are emotionally connected. So after you've stretched, you've done the acting as if visually, does it establish a deep emotional connection to you? Do you feel really excited? Is there something about this that makes you go, oh my goodness, I feel like this is going to really light me up? Because now if you've got your SMART goals and you've gone through the SAVE thing, so stretch, act, visualize, emotion, does it feel exciting? And that's going to help you to make sure that your goals are really, really impactful and you're going to actually be able to achieve them. So I hope you found this podcast episode useful. If you want some more on how to set those goals, do head to jennybush.com and look for my goal setting masterclass. If you can't find it, send me a message. You can find me at Equine Business Assistant on Instagram or Facebook. But go out there, set amazing goals, and do a smart save. I'll see you soon.